MMA Impact 2022, and also our theme for this year. And also, thank you so much, Monica, for that energetic and vibrant start. I'm sure everybody will agree with us when we say that evolving is no longer an option but a necessity, and we are all glad to have gathered here to evolve into winning marketing organizations. And on that note, before I introduce you to our next session of the day, requesting everyone to kindly follow MMA APAC on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And also, don't forget to tag us, tag our handles on your pictures, thoughts, and experiences of MMA Impact using the hashtags Shape the Future, hashtag MMA APAC, and hashtag MMA Impact. Now, let's get going with our next session for the day, which is what it takes to build winning marketing organizations, where we will discuss the narrative for 2022. We have backed it with a robust frameworks which will help build winning organizations. And ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to invite a strategic partner from Marcaps who has been integral to this mission. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sundar Bharadwaj, the Coca-Cola Company Chair, Professor of Marketing, the University of Georgia, the Terry College of Business, who has today joined us virtually.
That presents research on the insights from a large-scale study on winning marketing organizations. And today I will do a special focus on customer experience as a key component of delivering value to customers in winning marketing organizations. My name is Sundar Bharadwaj. I'm a Coca-Cola Professor of Marketing at the Terry College of Business at the University of Georgia. It's my pleasure to present these results today. A lot of our work on this particular topic is being published in a framework in the Harvard Business Review, which talks about the modern marketing organizations. What I'll present today is richer research insights on a whole host of topics, but with specific focus on customer experience. The key takeaway from our work is that marketers can create value, modern marketers can create value for organizations in 6 different ways. 3 of them are focused towards customers, and 3 of them are focused towards the firm. And if you can look at the 3 ways in which you can create value for customers, it's about you could choose to create exchange value, which is defined as creating unique product offerings that match the needs of individual customers. So essentially, you're personalizing the offering. The other way in which you can create value for customers is through the experience value, where you look at every single pain point, hassle of the customer's journey and try to create delight as the customers traverse the journey towards purchasing your offerings and utilizing your offerings and migrating and growing with the organization. The third approach that you can create value for customers is through engagement value, which essentially entails building meaning, building communities of customers that then support the organization and enjoy the benefits of utilizing the product offerings of the organization. Those are 3 ways in which you can think of marketers creating value for customers. Internally, marketers can create value through discovering new revenue streams, new opportunities for firm, which is labeled as strategic value. The other approach marketers can create value for firms is by orchestrating the customer experience throughout the organization by bringing in different functions that touch the customer together and enabling this coalition to be successful in delivering value. The third approach that marketers can create value is developing knowledge from customers, not just being knowledge users, but being knowledge generators by developing insights from customer interactions to create new business opportunities for customers. Today in this talk, I'll focus on the experience value and how experience value is critical and then what factors drive experience value in organizations. Why this is important is fundamentally because of a large-scale study that the results that today I present draw on. This study looks at over 900 firms that examine 2 key aspects. One, financial growth of these organizations. The other is customer growth metrics. And we draw on both perceptual measures, but also third-party formal organizational results on revenue growth, profit growth, and share value. And we contrast 2 different groups here. And I contrast the group that's what we call as winning marketing organizations. This is about 14% of the sample. And these organizations are at the very top quartile in terms of delivering financial growth and customer growth for organizations. And we contrast that to what we label as the lagging marketing organizations, or LMOs, and these are about 22% of the sample, and these organizations are on the bottom quartile on these dimensions. The insights of this larger study is basically on the structure of these organizations, whether it's centralized or decentralized marketing decisions, what's the footprint of the organizations, whether they in-source or outsource marketing activities, and what fundamental capabilities are there. Today, again, the focus is limited to customer experience. Right? The key finding of the study is that marketing capability fit, which I'll define in a moment, the orientation of the organization, and the marketing footprint are the most critical value-adding drivers for winning marketing organizations. And again, this will get clearer as I go through this talk. So given that capabilities is the most important driver of winning marketing organizations, capability is fundamentally a distance between what the organization believes is important versus where they are in terms of the practices that they have, in terms of the activities that they do to deliver on those attributes of importance. The closer the fit between the capability that the organization has and the importance of the capability, the more it's likely to be on the 45-degree line. The further away it is from that 45-degree line, which is the distance between what's important versus what the organization is capable of delivering, the lesser the fit. So if you're on the 45-degree line, you have high fit, but away from the 45-degree line, you have much lower fit, right? So essentially, that's what you're trying to decipher, and that's what capability fit is. And what our research finds is this capability fit is critical simply because organizations which have much higher capability fit have significantly higher customer satisfaction. In fact, their customer satisfaction levels are 3x greater than organizations that have low fit. So fundamentally, this is a big multiplier effect. If fit is greater, you have significantly higher levels of satisfaction. If you go back and look at real growth numbers, which is the sales growth revenues of these organizations which have high fit, the winning marketing organizations, have growth rate of between 11 and 12%, versus organizations that have low fit have growth rates of between 3 and 4%. In fact, a larger regression study, which controls for a whole host of other factors that drive growth, suggests that a 1% improvement in marketing capability fit increases your sales growth by 2.5x. That's an incredibly high multiplier effect. Taking it further, if you look at the impact in terms of market valuation of these organizations, a 1% increase in capability fit is associated with a 2.35% increase in the market value of these organizations. Fundamentally, organizations that have higher marketing capability fit have much higher market value than organizations that have very low marketing capability fit. And that's why the importance of this capability fit. So given this backdrop of this capability fit, let's do a deep dive on one aspect of the way firms create value, which is customer experience. If you look at customer experience, we define customer experience as driving three different broad areas of capabilities. One is the ability to enhance your offering design. It should be things such as providing better branded experience for customers or greater overall customer experience, improving the journey itself, customer journey, orchestrating the customer journey, and that involves channel orchestration, journey management, etc. The third approach is by augmenting the value of the offering to the customers. And this could be through product innovation, through service augmentation, and these are mechanisms of how you create customer experience. So fundamentally, customer experience involves three broad areas where you create value: experience design, journey orchestration, and augmentation of value. Okay, given we know what customer experience is, let's look at how customer experience matters. What we find is winning marketing organizations have significantly higher customer experience fit than lagging marketing organizations. In fact, the firms which are winning marketing organizations have about 87% customer experience fit compared to 61% for lagging marketing organizations, right? What this entails is that a 10% improvement in customer experience fit leads to about a 1.9% improvement in growth satisfaction, this on a 1 to 7 scale. So just a 10% fit leads to a nearly 2%, two units jump on a 7-point scale in terms of overall growth satisfaction in organizations. The second thing that we do find, take away from our research, is that winning marketing organizations are significantly more involved in experience tasks. We talked about 3 different ways to create customer value: experience, engagement, and exchange. But clearly what we find a big distinguishing factor of winning marketing organizations is they're a lot more involved in experience tasks. In fact, we look at the experience activities, winning marketing organizations are involved in 67% of them, while lagging marketing organizations are only involved in about 46% of them. So clearly the involvement is much greater, so which really is the footprint of the organization being significantly greater. And further indication of this footprint issue is that marketing leads rather than reports in more experience activities. So marketing could play the role of leading the activity versus reporting to other functions within the firm that conducts these activities. What we find in winning marketing organizations, marketing leads a lot more experience activities. And so their footprint is significantly larger compared to lagging marketing organizations. And what we do find is when marketing does lead on these activities, the satisfaction on a whole bunch of related actions are significantly greater, be they journey management or design digital activities or experiential marketing or delivering shopper marketing or even customer experience or orchestrating channels. In pretty much every one of those activities, the satisfaction in winning marketing organizations is greater when marketing leads customer experience. That's your key takeaway from here, right? So what are these high experience, customer experience marketing organizations like? They are more likely to be structured around products and segments rather than customer outcomes. That's a key finding of this study. The second thing that you find about these organizations is that they are more decentralized. And here we look at centralization of three aspects. One is the centralization of the budget. The centralizations on decisions regarding products and services. The third, centralizations of program marketing, program activities. What kind of spend, what kind of marketing activities do you do? And what we find is lagging marketing organizations with experience typically tend to centralize a lot more than winning marketing organizations. Winning marketing organizations tend to decentralize these actions at the point of action. Right? That's a big distinguishing trait, is they're more decentralized. In fact, we go back and look at every aspect of these three things, or three aspects of centralization. We find that low experience organizations tend to be a lot more centralized on all three of them, where versus a winning marketing organization that tends to be more decentralized on all three of them. And in general, which leads to higher experience fit for these organizations. Continuing on this footprint issue, what we also find is that high experience organizations, which also tend to be winning marketing organizations, tend to be more involved in more activities, be they foundational versus new activities, be they commercial versus branding activities. What we do find is that they tend to be involved in more activities than lagging marketing organizations. And importantly, what you do find is that these organizations tend to do a lot more commercial than branding activities, right? So that's really a big distinction factor. And they tend to do a lot more of sort of more newer activities, newer marketing activities than what is foundational, which is your product quality, price, and so on. And what we also find is winning marketing organizations tend to outsource more CS activities. Fundamentally, they leverage the network of capabilities that exists with their partners to deliver the best customer experience for customers. So they go beyond their organizations and leverage from their network of partners in order to do it. So they tend to outsource rather than insource more activities. So you see a pattern here with lagging marketing organizations. They tend to insource more, they tend to centralize more, whereas winning marketing organizations tend to outsource more, tend to decentralize more, right, in delivering superior customer experience. The last thing that we're going to talk about is how do we get towards being a winning marketing organization which delivers great customer experience. What we find is the internal drivers are critical, which means you need to have much greater knowledge on your customers. So your knowledge fit has to be significantly greater, which means you need to look at customers and gather a lot more rich information from your customers at every point of the interaction. Your overall operations fit need to be greater, which means you need marketing to orchestrate and lead these coalition of other functions that touch the customer. The third aspect is your strategy fit also is an important driver, significant driver, but what is less critical than knowledge and operational fit. The strategy idea is to identify new resources, new sources of value. That's fundamentally what it sort of entails. If you're sort of interested in this sort of domain and evaluating your organization, how do you get started? Go look for a free benchmarking tool that's available at markapps.com. it provides you a very quick insight on how your organization performs on all these 6 dimensions of value, right? And when you benchmark, you get these scores of fit, and you can compare yourself to other organizations in your sector. And this is a free benchmarking tool, and it delivers information that's very relevant for you in terms of looking how your organization does. If you do want to do a deep dive on this for your own organization, then go and look for this Markap's Market Readiness Assessment, which is a deep dive. And this provides a much richer insight for each organization on the capabilities that they have and versus the capabilities they require in order to be successful in an organization. And this spans all 6 dimensions of value that I introduced a bit earlier, right? And so it can evaluate the capabilities that you require versus capabilities you need. And that will enable you to find out where you're over-investing in capabilities that don't matter as much versus where you're under-investing in capabilities that do matter, and may help you identify blind spots and may help you to be more efficient in reallocating resources. And the higher your fit score, the better your sales growth, the better your firm valuation. And so it's critical to get towards. And if you're interested more on this research and insights for your own organization, do reach out to Markaps. And the contact there is shubhu@markaps.com. Thank you very much for being here. And I'd also like to thank MMA India for this wonderful opportunity to talk to you all. And I hope you're excited about this insights from this research just as much as I am. And hopefully you have learnings here that you can take away to your organization and start implementing them at your firms. Good luck.